Are y'all ready for this?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to OnTheBarz. Zach Knoll, one of the drivers for the Arnott Racing team. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me clear there?
Yep, you're good on my end.
Good deal. Good deal.
All right. So, guys, we're going to kick this off. I know the first videos haven't been uploaded yet. I'm working on those. I know we haven't posted in a while. There's a reason behind that, and I have a video ready for that that's currently being uploaded. So as soon as we get that together, I'll post it, and things are going to start changing here shortly, the YouTube-wise. So as soon as we get that figured out, we'll let you guys know. I think Saturday, we're going to have a meeting, right?
Yeah, I believe that's when. Yep.
Okay, so Saturday we're going to have a meeting with the team to talk about what we're going to do for this year and what the strategy is, and then we'll come back and figure that out. So, well, I got a list. What do you want to talk about first?
I've just been sitting here for the last couple of weeks going over my schedule. This year we're going to start doing a schedule, try to plan our season a little better for our fans, for our pocketbooks, and mostly for the wives and girlfriends in this, so they know what they can plan around.
True.
Like, we've got 2 kids. Like, I know my girlfriend's going for her master's right now. I mean, we've got a lot going on. You guys work. We work. I mean, everybody's got everything going on, and mom's hospital on top of it. So trying to get the schedule put in place. Right now I have 36 races that we're going to try to attend that we're going to talk about probably Saturday. Some of the big ones to start with. I know Skyline has an early season opener this year.
That's true.
Opening in March is always a brave thing to do. Let's hope they get it in. Not sure that we'll be at that. We're going to try to be, but depending on weather situations, we're not going to take stuff out the way we're planning to race this year and try to tear it early in the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that first race is...
It is
March 25th, right?
Yeah, March 25th.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the season opener. And then the next weekend after that, I know Atomic has a race with the big block modifieds, which is a big thing for the area. They're not around here very often.
No, that'll be kind of different.
That's going to be a big thing. And then also this year, I mean, everyone's been talking about the Dirt Track World Championship and where it's gotten switched up to Eldora. So that's an opportunity that we've been looking forward to. It's an excuse to go, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a drive from here. But there, obviously, if you're going to go run the dirt track, you're going to try to get up there a couple more times to get some data on the track. But April 18th, I know Flow Racing is going to be at Eldora for a Flow Racing Night in America. And they always put on a good show with those. But it's on a Tuesday night. So hopefully we can get ready for that. That's in April. But
I think April, actually,
the 18th.
No, I think May 27th is PRP's kickoff. Fruit night. That's too. So I know we won't miss that one because I think PRP is something we're wanting to kick off and race more like we did last year.
PRP is 5/27 is their kickoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, we love PRP.
We ran good last year there.
We ran good there last year. Kind of let down. They've only got looking like 2 big modified shows, and I say big as in nothing's big for modifieds really around here. The one that did, we all know what happened with that last year, but yeah. So that's what, like I said, 36.
I think I'll
go ahead there.
Not to interrupt you. I think I lost you there.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's good.
No, I was just like I said, rough schedule so far. We've got 2 and 3 races looking on certain weekends. I mean, obviously it's just depending on weather and everything, but if we could get 30 races in next year, you know, I think that'd be a good season, a good stepping stone for where we're wanting to be.
True.
get the name out there. That's kind of what my plan for the season this year is like I want to race local, but I also want to get my name out there. So
Yeah,
you want to race with the best. We can't race in the valley all the time. So
true.
we
Dude, I'll tell you something I wanted to bring up is Drake Troutman taking that feature on at East Bay.
oh man, I love looking on. Not to bring it back the attention back to myself. Drake had a hell of a good run. That was a great run by him. But it's awesome to see the guys that we've competed with this year, especially towards the end of the year there when we were getting everything ironed out, doing well down there. That reassures our racing program.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Troutman's our local guy, but I mean Brian Skaggs took top 5.
Yeah, I mean there was
And
a lot
then
of local guys. I know. His first name Wilson.
Who?
Wilson that run with us at Atomic. I can't remember his first name right off. I think he run good down in Florida too. I mean, he was winning one.
Well, I mean, our local guys right here. I mean, we've got Jimmy Lennox and Jeff Parsons and Miles Cook. I mean, those guys we race with those guys on a very regular basis.
And I mean, racing Chad we run with Chad usually every weekend too, and he's got a gator sitting at home. So,
dude, have you seen his new wrap? Let's talk about that.
That I will say is very impressive. You love it just because of the collars, I'm sure, and he probably did that just to irritate you.
Oh, he knew. He sent me a picture of it. I'm like, wow, you had to go there.
Anytime you get the chrome looking inlay, I'm a fan. I don't care what color it is.
Well, he knew the teal chrome was something I wanted to do, and done took it from me.
Yeah. Well, he's done everything else.
Oh yeah.
Props to him. Yeah.
And no offense to Sam and Samtastic, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's the best rap right there she's done so far.
Oh, I love anytime
that one. Definitely has my attention.
One that I didn't really like I didn't like the gambler part of it, but man, she made that gambler car she did a while back look good too.
Well, that dude, it's kind of cool to see Ty Torg on board with him. I mean, I know he's on board with us this year a little bit.
Yeah,
Ty helping other people.
Ty helps us out a lot. It's always good to make the trip up to see him. It was a conflict of interest, I guess, is what you could call it, seeing Moran and him part ways, but it's nice to see him partnered up with Hoffman this year, and
yeah,
they're going to do great things. I like to think the trickle down economics will happen on that. Maybe we'll get some of the information he's running on a modified.
True.
Just in passing conversation, but that's probably
and I don't know if we're allowed to bring it up, but you want to talk about what we had Dad do for Christmas this year?
We just sent Pops off to a school, and we all were going to go, and unfortunately, some of these chassis schools, and learning about these cars and the way they react, they're pretty expensive. So we figured the best option was to give it to the guy that can teach us and learn from him. So we got him in with Racewise. I'm not sure. That might have been it. I don't know. It has to do with Bob Harris and those guys, but one of their chassis schools, and he got to go down south and spend some time and enjoyed the time with it. He enjoyed seeing a few good friends, and then some of the guys from up here were also down there. I'm not going to name any names. I'll let the result board tell him down there this summer or this winter.
Definitely brought some information. That's for sure.
But no,
it's pretty much on us now at this point. I would say.
Oh yeah, completely.
I would say the cars at this point will be 100% most of the time they hit the track.
For sure, yes. 100% of the time when they're on the track, whether it's 100% in the right direction,
True. Speaking of cars, not to interrupt you, what's going on? What do we got going on with the Diamond this year? Are we going to make a comeback with it? Or are we going to be parked for this year? Or what do you think?
Time will tell. As
far as I've got a lot of comments and people want to know where it's at, what it's doing,
and don't they all? Everybody wants to know what you're running and what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
But no, we've got the Diamond will be ready. I don't know if we'll end up getting it out. We run so good in the Rocket last year. We were ready with the Diamond when the Rocket came in. So
and that's what I talked about in the last video is that there's nothing wrong with that car. There's no reason why we can't have it out. But when someone brings a car like what we got now in, there's no reason to push it out of the way and try to put something that's never been put on the track.
A lot of the things going on, anytime you're trying to put a car together, you're trying to get parts, it's hard to do. And when our gracious sponsor and car owner, Tom Arnott, had stepped in and said, hey, you know what? We got a good deal here. I think we can go buy a race-ready car and let's go racing tonight. And we literally did that. We picked it up and went racing that night.
Yep. What was it? 2 hours, I think, is what took us to.
We put fuel in it, charged the battery, and did bolt check. That's it. I don't.
And went out and finished. I think we finished. When did you finish? 8th.
Run 6th that night.
Yeah. So 6 in a car you've never been in that we haven't even. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I did bolt check. I'm not quite sure half those bolts were even tight.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool.
It still did a good show.
Yeah, but that brings us on to the Rocket. It's going to have a new body work, and obviously we're tearing it down, but not many changes. I mean, when we ended the year like we did at Atomic, you can't really go for any changes. You know what I mean? You don't want to go with anything drastic. I know we're going to. We've got a lot of used stuff that we're going to try to get rid of at some of these sales and on Facebook and stuff, and so we can. My plan is to try to get a spare for every part on the car. Keep that in the trailer. That way, that outfits us better to go on the road a little bit.
And that's something that I've brought up with Dad and Tom when we were sitting there that night talking about race cars is we need to get something that we both have that are almost identical cars, because we do race as a team. We usually race at the same places. We never go somewhere without each other. So it's nice. It would be nice to have 2 cars that are the same chassis, that are the same everything. That case, if I make the show and you don't, I break something and I need it. If I don't have it, I can take it off your car.
Well, I mean, and
it also goes into setup. I mean,
as far as things go, I think for most of the stuff we have something sitting in the garage.
Oh yeah, we have
spares. But I mean, it's just to have 2 new spares in the trailer.
Well, you got to think.
Our tire program is going to change drastically this year. I know that. That's
Oh yeah.
That's just something that we've been wanting to make the change with and put the effort more into. And I know I always try to take care of my tires, but as a team, we're all going to have it going the same direction. And I mean, that way the more tires you have, the more deadly you are. You know what I mean? I mean, you have more options.
It comes down to your tire on the last 20 laps is who did best tire work of all.
That's a fact. But
yeah,
that brings us on to the Rocket, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's about all of it. We got a new motor last year for it.
Yeah, we Tom found us the motor last year towards the end of the year.
Much problems with it.
We have a whole scat of motors.
Yeah,
year. I mean,
I think we're at 8. I think so. What I counted was 8.
Dude, countless. That's what's put together. So. To say that we're motor poor, we just had some rough with engines this year and stuff that had been, not that it hadn't been maintained, but we didn't know that it hadn't been maintained. You don't know,
Well, you also got to. I mean, I'll say it. We were racing on a budget last year, and we really didn't have the money to go, but we put every last nickel and dime in that car to get it there. And
anybody who's listened to this and races themselves understands that.
I'm sure.
A struggle. I mean, not everybody has 2 cars and 6 motors and everything. We're very grateful to have what we have, but we're still, I wouldn't say no budget team, but I mean, we have the equipment and the know-how, but to set beside, stackers and stuff like that, we're not to that caliber. And
I would say we're a middle class team.
A middle class. I wouldn't.
I mean, we're not a high end team. I mean, we have high end cars and high end parts, but when it comes down to the money part of it, we kind of run out. I mean,
a lot of those guys, they have a $100,000 fuel bill at the end of the year just in what they're driving. You know what I mean? That's something that compete with. But what we can do is what we're going to try to do is hit all the local races that those. At and hit what we can get to and make a name,
Well, I know that what got brought up in the last team meeting we had is Fairbury, and I think that's something we need to make a plan for.
Yeah, completely. I don't know that far west yet. Maybe this year if we can.
I mean, Eldora is a big one to get ready for.
Brownstown is in the works.
Yes.
For anyone that's listening that's in Indiana, that is have always been somewhere I've wanted to race, and we're going to make the trip this year. It's too close to not go. I mean, it's not that far. So,
I mean, Volusia, that might be a next year trip, depending on how the year goes. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a 2-car trip. It might be a 1.
I'd say if your mother and mine has anything to say about it, we're probably going to go to 411 at some point.
I would say
she wants to try that out, but sorry to keep jumping around. We were talking about the Rocket. The Rocket is ready to go. She is ready in need of some grease and a couple fluid changes. We're going to set the power plant back in it, and I think she's ready to gallop at full pace.
That's what I mean, I don't think my car is that far off. I know we needed to fix a couple things when we were in last year. We stripped, or not last year, the year before last. I remember I-77. We stripped the axle hub bolts out. That was something that needs fixed. And I know there's a little bit of a list that needs fixed on it. I don't know if it's going to be the first, but I think it's not far from it. I mean, that car needs a motor put for it because, we have 2 race ready motors for your car, and my car's kind of been pushed out of the way, which everyone knows is the year before last. I didn't race any and didn't race this year. So it's that's been on me, and I haven't really had the money or the time to do it and didn't want to do it. So that's where we're at. That's why my car sits, and we kind of pushed everything around you and got everything for your car, and my car kind of doesn't have what it needs to go out this year. So we're going to get it there, but I don't know if it'll be the first race. So
just really the elbow grease is where we're at now. We've got everything that we need, provided to us. We just need to we got to put the work in, and that's what everybody. I mean, we put a lot of work in already. We're going to continue to do so. And like I said, I don't know if you'll see us out in March. I know a lot of people like to get out as early as they can, even when it's cold, but that's rough on equipment. And anyone who says otherwise is a blank fool.
So we talked about the dirt track, and obviously it's getting moved to Eldora this year. I know we talked about Atomic. Their race schedule is pretty common, like it usually is, like last year.
Yeah.
I mean, how was your year last year? I mean, most of it's videoed, some of it isn't, and a lot of people didn't get to see most of it. So
it was a rocky year, very positive year. I mean, we had a lot of good runs, a lot of good finishes, some bad luck along the way, but all in all, it was a very positive year. I hope to build on that with this next year, and I don't know. We had a couple good finishes at the big money race at Atomic at the end of the year at the Renegade Show, and
that was a good one.
Yeah, we were really good the first night, and the second night, track started to glaze up and start chewing tires. We were kind of falling behind, but the last night we made the change to the 60 and decided that was the ticket.
It was.
But the only 60 we had in our trailer was a year old and was last run on a sport mod. So when she finally got hot and lit, she only lit for about 10 laps and grenaded.
I remember I had to change it.
Yeah, it was a great time.
That was not fun. But hey, you got to thank the other crew members. I mean, hell, we had half the teams over there helping us change a tire.
Yeah, that's always a great time.
Awesome. Most people you don't even want to talk to come over and help you when you need that stuff.
Man, it's familiar faces are always a good thing to see when you're in the pits.
Oh yeah. So I got most of this checked off, but the one thing I know that I haven't really talked about is the team. I mean, where's our team at? Because I mean, I know, Casey races and he's always there when he can be, but I've had people on the channel comment about dirt and everything, and I know that I kind of want to go over that because everybody keeps wondering where he's at, and I talked to him a little this week, and he's got his own thing going on. Like everybody else standing here, we all have jobs, and and he wants to be a part of it, but at the same time, he's not wanting to be full-fledged into it because he also has a life and a job and dreams.
Oh yeah, well, listen, Dirt. Just because he's we all try to take care of our personal lives in the winter so that we can race in the summer. So Dirt's always he's always Mr. Reliable, man. He's never left me hanging. So he's I look forward. I'm sure we'll have Dirt there. We've got Tom. Casey will be racing his sport mod, but like I said, most of the time we go to big shows and he's not racing that weekend. He goes.
Well, I mean, hell, I think Casey's raced and still been over there helping us on our cars
Oh, Casey's that way.
most of the time.
He's a dedicated crewman, man. He's probably one of the best we got.
Well, and Jake, on the other hand, Jake Swain, this guy has went from painting cars to owning his own shoe business.
Yeah, he's
I mean, Heady Shoes, look him up. I mean, he's
sure
went from.
I'm sure you'll see Jake at the races at some point this year, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I know he goes down south. He was trying to get to Bubba Raceway there the other night, but I don't know if he'll make it up this way for race season or if he'll be mid-season. I'm sure he'll be at the dirt track at Eldora.
for sure. I mean, he's selling shoes for Jonathan Davenport. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he sold like 6 pair of those, I think.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it.
No, that's he's rolling pretty good with his little business he's got going on. And it might be a big one before the end of the year.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, there's the team. I mean, we're all pretty. I mean, we're all still here, but it's kind of always been a me, you, and Dad thing. I feel like
Tom's always been included. Dirt's always been there, man. He's always been there. We have guest appearances from Swain and Casey when they get there, and it's not just us. I mean, our teams are families, man. And if they weren't, we'd never be able to. And to have Jilly that's okay with it, and we've got 2 kids, and I have a girlfriend that is very appreciative of it. That it's not a single thing. It's a family thing.
No.
So I love that about it. And on to that, it's also a sponsor thing, and that is what we're pressing right now. That's what we're dealing with. We're probably going to talk more about it this weekend, but we are.
Sponsors.
We do have a sponsorship proposal out for anyone that's interested. I'd love to sit and talk with you, but we were planning in the future before season. We're going to try to get everyone that's interested in sponsorship before season, probably within the next month. Anyone's interested in sponsorship, going to try to get together and have a little dinner. We'll talk racing, we'll show videos, and maybe we'll luckily sign some sponsors. But
yep.
Until then, we're going to have the meeting Saturday. I don't know if I've got everything checked off on my list. Are you good on your end?
As far as I know, I mean, last thing I really had was how you been going on. I mean, we haven't really seen you very much.
Oh, man. I've been in the shop all the time. I work body work at day, race stuff at night. Other than that, we play a little World of Outlaws in between. And gymnastics.
There we go.
Stuff going on. Basketball.
Heck yeah. Well, we're clicking off 23 minutes here. Well, Zach, thank you for joining. I know we have a couple more people that we wanted to talk to. This is kind of going to be a me and Zach thing. I know that the meeting that we have Saturday, I wanted to try to video that. Obviously, there's going to be some things we're going to talk about that is just a team knowing, and I think we're going to try to broadcast that so you guys can be in our lives more than just watching us race. I think that'll be, something that we can bring everybody in on everything we do, and then I think that'll be an interesting thing.
For sure.
And that's something this will be more of a. We're going to try to do this every week. It's what I've tried to figure up. I think it'll be something. I mean, podcasts are getting huge. I mean, it's something that people would rather sit and listen to, while they're at work or if they're at home cleaning their house or whatever, even working on the race cars in the shop on the evenings. I mean, people like listening to people talk, and there's a lot of dirt track podcasts out there, but there's I don't see one in Ohio, and I don't see one really on the East Coast. And
we have a lot of colleagues, if you call them, and fellow drivers that I'm sure would like to get in. And good luck getting Chad.
You would be surprised the kind of people that I have reached out to that want to talk with us that we wouldn't expect to.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I know we haven't had much luck with the old Kyle Bond, but he was interested in talking with us, which I thought was hilarious. And I know he's probably going to listen to this. So I thought that was an interesting
thing. Everything aside, man, I've got to race Kyle every weekend. It doesn't matter where we go. It seems like we end up beside him and Larry. And if we all can't get along off the track, then the track goes on to the track, and that just turns out bad for everybody. So,
hopefully
bygones are bygones with that. I don't want to hold on to anything. I've been for a long time, But
I think we got that out of our system. That's not who we need to be. We're better than that. So we need to look aside from the drama that happens in the racing and move on and pack our stuff and go home when we're done racing. And
or leave it on the track.
getting Chad, are you serious? I
Leave it-
can't even get him to look at the camera, let alone talk on the phone.
He'll just click in and flip us off the whole time.
Yep. Yep, that'll be it.
But this has been a great time.
Yep.
Thanks for including me in this, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
We'll get a hold of you guys. Hopefully we'll be back on here this weekend, and I'll make a post. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page. Looking at getting a website going. So I know we did that a couple years ago, and then we never really set it up. But I definitely got people that were interested in shirts and buying our merchandise, and that's something we're going to push pretty heavily over here. So if you guys are interested in stuff like that, just don't feel free to let us know. I mean, it's something we want to get a hold of. I mean, I know we went to PRI and saw people wearing our shirts. That was pretty crazy. So, but yep. So clicking off 26 minutes here, Zach. Thank you for joining with us, guys. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, we'll see you guys later.